You probably heard me talk about Branson, a silver dollar city. You're looking for a new place to vacation? So, what is this Branson, Missouri place? How do you get here? Where do you stay? Where do you eat? What is there to do? Let me show you Branson and why you want to come here. We have been blessed these last several years to live right near Branson, Missouri. It's an amazing place to visit. It's actually one of the vacation capitals of the United States, and it's actually got a lot of stuff you might be surprised to find here. I have people all the time asking me, well, where do I stay when I'm there, and where do I eat, and what do I do? And, well, let me tell you a little bit about Branson and why those questions aren't as simple to answer as you might think. So the very first thing is, how do you get here? Well, if you've got to fly, there's two airports you can fly into. Branson itself has a small regional airport. It has had Southwest and Frontier fly into it. I think Frontier's flying in now, but it changes. It's a little dinky airport, and commercial flights into it are a little tough to get. The bigger airport nearby is still not a big airport, and it's actually up in Springfield. It's called the Springfield-Branson Airport, but it's Springfield. It is serviced by American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Allegiant, and it will occasionally have some flights from others. If you've got to fly in, it's the place to go, but like I said, it's not that big. It's only got 10 gates. Yeah, it's actually really nice to get in and out of because it's not big. If you're going to come in, you're going to need a rental car, though. Branson is about 45 minutes away from the Springfield Airport. And just with what's out here, you're going to need a car to get around Branson as it is. So if you're within driving distance, and I would say if you're 8 hours or less away, I would suggest driving if at all possible. It's honestly going to be a lot easier to get around, and it's cheaper than renting a car. Uber is available, but it's not as reliable here. Driving's the way to go. So once you get here, where do you stay? This may surprise you. Branson has somewhere around 200 different hotels, and they range in price everywhere from about $35, $40 a night for cheap hotels. And yes, you can actually find inexpensive, decent places to stay for $50, $60 a night. If you look careful, watch the online reviews. TripAdvisor is your friend. But you can range from there all the way up to the Hilton down at the Branson Landing, which is going to run you about $250, $300 a night, or to the Chateau on the lake, which will be $400 and is super fancy. You've got everything in between, 200 of them to choose from. So, which hotel do I recommend? Well, define your price range, define what kind of conditions you want to stay in. Honestly, you're better off looking at one of the hotel reservation sites and checking the ratings and looking to see what's here. You've got everything from the national chains to the mom and pops, and you can find something that's going to fit you and be nice. Watch those reviews. So yes, a lot of hotels with multiple thousands of rooms. It's something like 20,000 rooms or some crazy number like that. May even be more than that. Before I forget too, not included in those hotels, there's also lots of timeshare rentals. Be careful of the sales pitches. But if you're already part of a timeshare, there's a place for you to stay in Branson. You can also connect with some of the home vacation rentals as well. And rather than stay at a hotel, there are actually homes that you can rent to stay in, which is really cool. It's nice when you can do that. Don't limit yourself just to hotels. Check out some of the other options as well. So then you go, well, what about eating? Okay, now think about this. If we just had 200 hotels, there are over 400 restaurants in Branson of all shapes, sizes, types. What kind of food do you want? Do you want Mexican? Do you want Brazilian? Do you want Indian? Do you want European? Do you want Asian? You're going to find it in Branson. Steakhouses to 50s burger diners to singing waiters, all sorts of stuff. Buffets all over the place. What do you want? You're going to find it in Branson. There are a few places I would recommend that are above others, and a few that I would generally say avoid because of bad service and not so great food. But generally speaking, again, TripAdvisor's your friend, and what do you want to eat? Go pick a place. All sorts of them. Okay, so now I know I haven't given you a whole lot of help on the hotels and the restaurants just because there's so many, and it's pretty much open to whatever works best for you. But then what about things to do? You got a place to stay, you got a few places to eat. Now what? Well, here's what makes Branson special. Branson is actually the entertainment capital of the United States. You may be thinking, wait, I thought that was Nashville, or I thought it was Broadway. There are over 100 shows in approximately 45 different theaters in Branson. That's a lot of shows to choose from, and they've got everything you can imagine, from musical montages, tribute shows, classic rock, modern rock, lots of country and western. Bluegrass is very popular. Magicians, animal shows, comedians, off the wall stuff. You name it, you're probably going to find a show of some sort that is here. How many different seats are in those theaters? Among those 45 theaters, there are approximately 56,000 theater seats. That's actually 11,000 more seats than Broadway has. Yeah, live entertainment is huge in Branson, and you're going to find a mixture of local stars, a few big name stars that have been around, and you'll find some people starting out too. All sorts of stuff. And what's really cool is almost all of it is family friendly. You can find a few of the more adult shows, but they're kind of the exception versus the rule. Family friendly is huge in Branson. Bring your kids. It's a great place for kids. But let's say you only want to see a show or two and you want to do something else as a family. Well, we don't have to stop at just shows. There are a ton of other attractions. There are 3 different alpine roller coasters. There are thrill rides in town, mind you. You've got giant boomerangs, you've got slingshot rides, a giant Ferris wheel from the Chicago Pier. There's all sorts of different rides. Go-kart tracks like crazy. Some of the most amazing go-kart tracks you are ever going to find anywhere. Mini golf courses, several of them all over the place, from the most basic to adventure golf courses. Climbing courses. If you want to do an adventure, a bungee cord, we got several zip line courses that are around in the area. Year-round inner tubing, indoor water parks, one outdoor water park with white water. Museums of all sorts, from Ripley's to Beyond the Lens to the Wax Museum to the Titanic to the Butterfly Palace, which is really cool. We've got several places you can see wild animals. The Promised Land Zoo is here in town, and you can do a drive-through at the zoo. You can also feed some of the animals, and they'll give you up-close looks at several of them. Promised Land Zoo is a really cool place to see, and you can check out my video on it. Also outside of town just a little bit is Shepherd of the Hills, which really is kind of where the whole Branson event started, based on a book called Shepherd of the Hills that tells the story of the Ozarks. The old homestead is still there, and if you really want to know what made Branson get started, that's where you want to go. Check out Shepherd of the Hills. Coming out of Branson too, just past it, is also that major attraction that I talk about on a regular basis, that is 60 plus years old now. Yes, you can go get robbed on a train, you can walk through a huge cave, you can ride roller coasters. This, of course, is Silver Dollar City. Silver Dollar City is an amazing theme park. It's about a 10 to 20 minute drive outside of Branson, depending upon where you stay and how bad the traffic is. Go early on weekends so you can avoid the traffic. Silver Dollar City is a world-class theme park. It ranks right up there with the Disney parks, although it's cheaper to get in, and homemade food, shopping. Just look at my videos. You can see why you want to go to Silver Dollar City. Silver Dollar City can take a day or two of your vacation, depending upon how much you want to shop and see the shows and ride the rides. If you want to do everything, you're going to want 2 days. But you can possibly squeeze it into one. But it's one part of a vacation to Branson. Oh, and you know what else? I didn't even mention all the outdoor stuff either. You may be saying, well, all that stuff is nice, but what if I want to go relax? We have 3 major lakes in the area. You've got Table Rock Lake, Lake Taneycomo, which really is more kind of a slow-moving river between the other two, and Bull Shoals Lake. Lots of swimming, boating, fishing, suntanning. You want time on the lake? It's there. We've got several major golf courses. I believe it's over 10 golf courses in the area, hiking trails, nature walks. If you really want to get out and see some nature, head out to Dogwood Canyon, which is just amazingly gorgeous. Beautiful area to just go walking and relax out in nature. Top of the Rock also has some amazing things to see. You've got the golf cart tour, which I also did. Check that video out. It's just a really cool place to go and just get out. It's also got a natural history museum there. College of the Ozarks isn't far and has a major museum that you can check out there. It'll take you hours to walk through this place. You're not going to run out of things to do in Branson. You could easily spend a month here in Branson and not come close to doing all of it. So I hope with all that you can see that Branson is an amazing place to visit. It's not a simple, which of the 4 hotels do I stay at? 200 hotels. So be sure to check everything out online. I encourage you, if you're looking for something different to do, someplace to go that's great for the family, someplace to even just go relax because of all the nature, check out Branson. It is an amazing place to visit. I love living here. I love being able to see all the stuff that's here. And I love being able to share it with people. So that's Branson. Come visit. If you want to know more, if you've got questions, let me know in the comments. Check the description. There's also information there. There's so much I didn't even get a chance to mention. The escape rooms, the axe throws, the downtown with Dick's Five and Dime. And oh my goodness, I could just keep going on and on and on. The outlet malls, the Branson Landing Outdoor Mall. That's what I'm telling you. There is so much to see in Branson. You got to come check it out. Let me know if you're planning a visit. If you've been here, let me know what you thought and what your favorite parts were. Or if you're going to come, what are you most looking forward to? I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for checking the description, for hitting that like button, for sharing, and for subscribing. I'm on my way to 30,000 subs. Help me get there. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so incredibly much for my financial supporters for helping make some of those videos you seem possible going to check out these attractions. If you want to know more about that, as well as the perks that come with it, check the description. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. You've got all sorts of... Excuse me. You've got Table Rock Lake, Lake Toonie? Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know about contact information, fan pages, merchandise, and more, please be sure to check the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to know when I have new ones, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button right up there. And if you want to see another one of my videos, well, I've got a great one for you right here. And a huge thank you to these wonderful people here who support me on Patreon and with YouTube memberships. They get behind the scenes information, special perks, and more. If you'd like to know more about that, well, make sure you check that button right there. Thank you so much.